Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Friends in Music podcast. Today I'm sitting here with Disco Crago. Craig, thanks for doing this with me.
Of course.
And I feel like I have to start it off right and say, girl, 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 girl.
Girl, 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 girl. Yes.
I've been very excited to record this episode with you. I mean, I feel like we've had probably 10,000 hours of episode content talked about in
Yep.
passing, but now we're finally recording one of them.
It's very exciting.
Let me tell the people, the 3 listeners that we have about you. I met you in 2010. We just realized how long ago it was. But you're a great friend, and I really appreciate that. I know that you're somebody that if I need something, you're only a phone call away, and that means the world to me. If I need advice, I know you're there for me. And most important, I love to talk about music, and you're always willing to just blab about music with me. And even if it's not a band that you care about, you'll still listen and talk and give feedback. And I appreciate it, and I respect and love you, man. So thanks for doing this with me.
Of course. And likewise. You're
So
one of my favorite people. Oh, whoops.
You're one of my favorite people. Oh, whoops.
Oh.
The first time I met you, I went to your house and immediately saw that everything was covered with music memorabilia. I remember a Dolly Parton something on the wall, a Hanson something, records everywhere. And I said, "What's your favorite band?" And you said, "What?"
Probably The Cure.
Yeah. And I said, "Your favorite band is my band's favorite band." And you said, "You like Blink-182?" And I said, "Oh, me and Craig are going to get along just fine."
Yes.
And here we are.
And here we are 15 years later.
Nothing's changed. I say super a lot less, right?
Yeah, I mean, you did say super a lot. You are the only person in the world that calls me Disco Craigo, but I appreciate it. So,
is that okay though? Is it offensive?
oh no, I love it. No, I don't. No, I know because it's like your own little name. You know, it's like, and the only person in the world that calls that, and I appreciate it.
Well, just so you know, that's going to be in your episode title. It's going to say "with Disco Craigo," not just
Okay,
Craig.
I'm pleased with that.
I don't know who Craig is.
I know. Well, I have a hard time calling you by your first name, so
That's fine.
yeah, it feels weird when I say it. So, I mean, so are we gonna say what you were doing when you met me?
That's completely up to you.
I'm fine with it. I'm just like,
I told my side of the story.
Well, okay, so I mean, you were on your mission,
Correct.
and you were with Doll at that time, right?
Doll, yep, correct.
Yeah, and y'all knocked on my door. I think he'd been there before, though, right?
To your house?
Yeah.
No, we both met you the same
Was that
time.
the first? Okay. Yeah, because I mean, missionaries would stop by all the time, and I would always feed them. And I mean, I don't necessarily live the life, but I always, because obviously the way I was raised, so I always welcomed,
Yeah.
And then I just got lucky, when I opened the door for you guys that day. Still to, be in contact with you all these years. I feel like I've watched you grow up in a sense and become a fine young man. Not that you weren't when you were 9 or whatever, but however old you were at that.
I appreciate that. I was 19, yeah. So I served a 2-year LDS mission in Seattle, Washington, and I came out as a ray of sunshine missionary, very excited to see what Seattle had to offer. And you were the very first person I met. I don't know if you know that, but you're the first Seattleite I met.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I don't think I knew that.
I met
Wow.
Jordan Dahl. We got in the car, and I think he planned some things, and you were the first person that opened the door and that we got to talk to.
Oh, wow.
And so, of course, I just started talking about music because I had no idea what else to talk about.
Yes, but I did learn you guys about fabulous things that you didn't know about that you should have known about being young LDS men, but
Yeah, such as.
such as My Turn on Earth.
Yes, of course. Which I should have my copy sitting here with me.
Well, that's okay. I should maybe have my vinyl out, but I don't.
I left Seattle a while later, and you sent me a burnt copy of My Turn on Earth, and then you sent me the video, and I saw both,
Hmm. Yep.
and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. And somewhere there's a fabulous picture of us holding a My Turn on Earth 8-track.
Yeah, with your brother, right?
Yes. Yes.
Whose was that?
It was my,
Okay, you just
yeah.
brought it on with you on your drive down to
I
Buckleytown.
think that I mean, I already had one. We might have stopped at a thrift store and found that. And so I was like, oh, this is perfect. Because we were going to visit you. Because he had a student that lived there.
Yeah,
What area was that in?
that was Buckley.
Okay. Yeah, because he had a former student that lived there. And so that's why we went over there. And
Yeah,
we might have found it at a thrift store. Or I was just like, oh, we're going to see him. I'm bringing this 8-track. Because, that's what life's about is My Turn on Earth.
amen. We'll send it there. Amen.
Right. Well, and we've also learned what the golden rule is from that. So, it's a
It's a
terrific
terrific
tool.
tool.
This is to what others what about that. So we've talked about the My Turn on Earth long enough.
So, what I remember one of the first times going to your house was obviously you have a huge music collection, and we'll talk about all of that. But I remember you showed me a receipt of your iTunes account, and in that year alone, you had spent $10,000 on music.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
I'm not surprised by that. I don't really do like digital anymore. I mean, obviously you can stream pretty much everything just a subscription, so you don't
yeah,
really have to buy it. Back then, we actually had to buy
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And I would just buy stuff that I never even listened to. Because I was so curious about new music and things that I used to know, and it was still relatively new at the time,
Yeah.
but I mean, it'd been for a while, but it was still at that time getting paid than just a subscription. And yeah, I'd spend a lot of money. I have to think that the vinyl was included in that too, not just the iTunes, because that's a lot of freaking.
It was just I don't know if it was that year or lifetime, but you showed me it was like $9,784
It
on your
probably was
iTunes
the
account.
lifetime. I don't think I spent that much in a year, but because boy, that would really be a problem. Now I could see that I could possibly spend that much on, records,
Yeah,
but I spend nothing. I don't buy anything digitally now. But
yeah,
again, you don't have to. So
yeah. I can't remember the last time I bought a digital album
yeah. Well,
in a
because
very long
again,
time.
you don't have to anymore.
I do get the when you buy a record, it comes with the digital download, and I've done that a couple times, but I should probably do all of them so I have them backed up elsewhere. But I don't even do that.
Yeah, they always just stay in the cover. I
Yeah,
very rarely download those unless it's something you can't find streaming, then I
yeah.
will. But yeah,
So, what is your
my chair is
favorite
very
form?
squeaky. But
Squeaky. What's your favorite form of music media?
well, that would
I
be
think
vinyl.
I think it's obvious. And how big of a collection do you have?
So my collection, I think it's around 2,400. That's including 45s. I think about 200 of those are maybe 45s. So,
Okay.
but the rest are LPs. Yeah, it's just the pure form of media to me. And
Yeah.
obviously, I'm a kid from the 80s, so it's the purest form, although I didn't listen to records a ton growing up, but I did listen to cassette tapes. And so I think probably growing up it was mostly cassette tapes, but I did have records. Um, but in late 90s, I started going to record stores and realizing I could get all these amazing things that, you couldn't find anywhere and pay pennies for them because nobody was buying records anymore. So I started collecting vinyl again in '99, and so 26 years later. But now that everybody loves it again, which is great, but also annoying because I used to spend like $2 or $3 for, like a Cure album, and now
Yeah.
it's 50, 60, 70, depending on, what it is. Actually, I don't know that I ever spent $2 or $3 for a Cure record, but there were other bands.
Yeah.
But I have some Cure records that I probably spent $10 on that now for a used hobby that now would probably be like anywhere from 50 to a couple hundred, depending on the album. But
Yeah. It's crazy.
yeah,
And do you still have cassettes?
I have a few. Mostly what I have is just that like mixtapes that friends made me and that I made like in high
Okay.
school.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
cool.
have a ton of. I have a box that's about half full. I don't even have anything to play them on though.
Yeah.
So
I don't either.
I have a bunch of like the singles and stuff like that that I had. You know,
Yeah. Nice.
yeah. But it's the nostalgia stuff, and the couple of the albums that I have, it's like because you can't stream it, you can't like I haven't been able to find it on vinyl, so that's why I still have it, or it's a certain tape that I've had since I was like, in the fourth grade. So I've kind of
Nice.
kept it around that, yeah. They definitely have some of those that I've had since I was a kid. But
So, what about CDs? You got any of those lying around?
I have a few CDs. So when I at one point I probably had about 4,000 CDs. Yeah. And once I started getting back into vinyl, it was too difficult to keep both because they
Yeah.
both take up a
Definitely.
lot of room. I mean, obviously CDs don't take up as much room as vinyl does, but
Yeah.
it wasn't making sense to have both. There's a lot of stuff that I did get rid of that I kind of wish I hadn't now. Like The Cure, like I had everything CD single, every live compilation. I probably had a couple hundred Cure CDs. I have none now.
Okay.
And most of those were never released on vinyl. A lot of those compilations and live, and especially, well, the singles, it's just harder to find them on vinyl.
Yeah.
Um, there's some of that, and like The Beautiful South, that's another band that I really love. I had everything on CD by them. And I got rid of all of that. And I kind of wish I hadn't because a lot of it you can't stream, especially like the singles and things like that. But yeah.
And before we move on, I'm going to say that if people are curious about your record collection, because it is very impressive, you have quite a few videos on YouTube under Craig's Vinyl Plethora. Will you tell us a little bit
Mhm.
more about that?
Um, Gosh, when did I start my channel? 23? 22 or 23? I don't remember. It's been a while
Okay.
now.
Yeah. It's been a while
And
for sure.
I mostly started it because I was going to listen to all my albums. And then my friend said, you should document that. And then it turned into, oh, well, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to start talking about music. I mostly talk about the stuff that I get, like like new vinyl
Yeah.
finds and stuff like that. But I'll do themes and things there, here and there, talk about certain collections. And then through that, I met a few other people. And then I'm also on a collaboration channel.
Yeah.
Uh,
And what's that one?
that is the vinyl community Guncles, because apparently there's a vinyl community on the YouTube world that I did not know when I started recording my channel. It was mostly just a place for me to be able to talk about music. And hey, if people watched and listened,
Yeah.
great. But if not, it was mostly just an outlet for me to be able to talk about things that I love. And my taste is, I think, really so unlike so many other people that have channels
Okay.
because I listen to just about everything, and
Yeah.
I will be one. There'll be a video I'm talking about, Dolly Parton, The Cure, Depeche Mode, Rilo Kiley, Donnie and Marie. It's just like
Yeah.
everything's like, oh, Anne Murray. Like I'm talking about all this stuff that doesn't make sense together, but it makes sense together to me because
Yeah.
it's the stuff that I was brought up with in a sense. You know.
Definitely. I think that's one cool thing about everybody has their own taste of music, and sometimes they stick with a genre, and sometimes that doesn't matter to them, and they listen to whatever. And that's definitely you, as you listen to whatever resonates with you and whatever you like and sounds good to you.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
where did that come from though? Because you do have a diverse taste in music.
I mean, so I'm the youngest of six, and my parents were born in the 30s. So I came from old parents. There's a 17-year difference between me and my oldest brother. So he was like the heavy metal guy, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses. So, I learned a lot of that type of music from him. So I love AC/DC. I love Guns N' Roses. I think
Yeah.
of growing up to that stuff. Then my sister, the one girl out of the six of us, um, she was into country music. So that's where like Tanya Tucker and um, you know, Pardon even came from. Um, Also, she listened to like the Carpenters and things like that. So a lot of
Yeah.
that late 70s rock kind of came from her. My brother, Carl, who you met, was into John Denver. So John Denver is part of my collection. My brother Kevin was more into like the new wave. So I learned of the B-52s and the Cars and things like that from him. And then my brother John and I just kind of evaporated all of this and then just kind of learned from other people. I mean, we were into kind of hair metal there for a while. I thought Bon Jovi was my favorite band. I'm happy to say that that's not the case, and I learned from my mistakes. Bon Jovi's whatever. I mean, I have the one album, and I don't need any. I've got Slippery When Wet because it's nostalgic. But I don't need any other Bon Jovi, and I don't know that it's actually ever been played. So, if it has, it's been many, many, many years. I've had it for that was one of the first ones I bought. So, but then we started getting into like the new wave, In Excess, Depeche Mode, Erasure, all of that kind of stuff. And he was big into U2. So it's like if I hear U2, I think of him. And I hated U2 for a really long time because for about 3 years of my life, that's all I ever heard every single day was U2. And I'm like, I don't care if I ever hear U2 ever again. I appreciate them differently now. I really don't think there's anything good past like a Chung Baby, but there's some songs here and there, but he drove me crazy with U2.
And I failed to mention this earlier in your introduction, but what I should have said is that if anybody needs a music trivia partner or a name that song partner, you're that person.
Yeah, kind of. I feel like the older I get, the worse I get at it. But definitely, I'm not good with the new artists. Like some of them, but the
Yeah.
newer stuff. I think probably probably like 2015 and before. I'm pretty good
Okay.
at, but
Yeah.
yeah, these last because well, most of it's been garbage. So there's really nothing to write home. And unfortunately, a lot of the groups that I love, they're not releasing music anymore, or they are and it's not good, you know, or bands that I used to like, I don't have interest anymore if they do record new material. So, it comes and goes with a lot of groups. So,
That's fair. But yeah, I think you have more music knowledge than anybody else that I know, band knowledge, name that song. And every time I do something like that, I was like, man, if Craig was here, he would destroy me and it'd be so fun to have such a good competition. But now I know where it comes from is you had a little bit of everything growing up. You had people giving you music, which is like awesome.
yeah.
But you said that there's some old bands that have made some new music that you don't care for. Do you have any examples?
Well, actually, I won't say I will say the Cure's most recent record that came out last year. This has been their best that they have released in
Okay.
because their previous two records, I will call them pure garbage. And I have
Man.
loved this band since when did 87. So and
Okay.
they have since that moment I heard them. They have been my favorite band. They will always be my favorite band. But I think that we can have favorite bands and we don't have to like everything they do. I
Correct.
still
Yeah, I agree with
respect them.
that.
And regardless of whether I like it, I'm still going to purchase it. I have
Yeah.
every studio album of The Cure on vinyl, and I will continue to grow my collection with 12-inch singles and whatever I can find. Um, I think it's in the 60s of what I have on of Cure on the
Wow.
vinyl. There's just so much that I don't have though. But yeah, no, that 418 Dream, which is the one that came out before the songs, this last Songs of a Lost World or Songs from the Lost World, something. Again, way better than the previous two records. But you also, what it was like 2013, I think maybe it's when 418 Dream came out, and I just think that album
Okay.
is just garbage. But it might be like one good song on it. And I think I'm going to go back and listen to it and maybe give it another visit. And I always will turn it on and I get to like the second song and I'm like, I can't listen to this. It's not listenable to me. I
Well,
just don't.
start at the third song this time and see how that works out for you.
Maybe, maybe I
Try a
can get
different
past
approach.
that. I don't know. It just seems so like they're trying to be something they weren't with that record.
Yeah.
And I think that what was so good about this last record, it was just the Cure being the Cure. There
Yeah.
wasn't any gimmicks. It was the long, drony, 12-minute songs. I mean, I think the album's like 40 something minutes long. There's only 8 songs on it.
Okay.
And it's just, I wouldn't call it perfection, but compared to anything that they've released over the last, decade or more,
Yeah.
it's really good. And then they did a remix of it, which was a 2-record set. And I actually think I kind of like the remix album
Nice.
better. It's
Yeah.
really, really, really good. So, but I do love more The Cure, but they are the band, that I, my first, I guess, band-wise obsession that I immediately, like, I discovered who they were and I had to have everything they ever
Yeah.
recorded. Um,
So, what's the story behind that? Like, when did that start? What song was it? You said 87, right?
7, it really like I think that Why Can't I Be You is the first song I heard. I saw the music video and it was like they're all in costumes. Robert's in a bear costume. Um, it's a very interesting video, but I'm pretty sure that was the first song I ever heard. So that would have been off of Kiss Me, Kiss Me. And then I think it was the following year that I really started to get into them. I went to EFY, which I think they call it something different now, especially for youth, that they had at the
Yeah.
BYU. I met a bunch of people there, and I met a girl that was wearing a Cure t-shirt. I thought she was the coolest
Nice.
thing. She had like two-tone hair, and she had the skater hair, with her bangs down to her chin and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It was the hair that I desired to have, and um, I just thought she was the coolest thing. Her name was Amy, with an I and 2 E's, and she just kind of lightened that up in me after meeting her, and she sent me like a bunch of mixtapes with like B-sides and songs I'd never heard. And yeah, that really is what kind of put me into like, okay, now I have to have everything. Ever I Robert was a saint to me. Like I wanted his hair. Now he needs to stop with the hair now. He's in his
Yeah,
60s.
definitely.
I wonder how many like families of squirrels and rats and chipmunks are living in his hair. Um, like I don't know. I don't know, dear Robert. He needs to stop. He can still do the smudged lipstick or whatever if he
Yeah.
must, but the hair needs to go. And I don't think he's cut his hair since 1987. So, because that's when he did a crew cut. I don't know if you've ever seen those pictures, but there's a concert called in Orange. I don't
Okay.
remember where it was recorded, and he has a flat top.
Okay. I
And
have not seen that picture.
I don't know that he's cut his hair since then. So I'm sure he has, but it started coming back after that. But yeah, that was like 86, 87, somewhere in there. That's when that concert was. Really good live show.
Nice.
So,
So yeah, like mentioned earlier, my favorite, my obsession is Blink-182. Everybody that knows me knows that. And so yours is The Cure, which I would say it's safe to say that my obsession with Blink, like you have more of an obsession with The Cure. Is that fair to say?
Probably. I would
Yeah,
think that's fair to say.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just trying to paint a picture for the people that don't know you because everybody's like, man, Blair doesn't shut up about Blink 182, blah, blah, blah. Or, excuse me, Ford doesn't shut up about Blink 182. So, yes, you
Yes.
have more of an obsession there. But I've taken a personal challenge when I go to the record store. I always check the Cure section. Always do. I went to the record store last week. They didn't have anything, it was all gone. But I've sent you a handful of pictures saying, hey, I haven't seen this one before. Do you have this one? And it's it's a challenge I'm never going to win, but I hope that one day I find something that you don't have in your collection.
Yeah. I mean, it could happen, you know. I mean, Shane just brought me my friend Shane that I've known since high school. He came out
Yeah.
here in July, I think. So when Kiss Me, Kiss Me was originally released in the UK, it came
Hmm.
with a third disc, which had B-sides and stuff on
Okay,
it.
cool.
And it was on orange vinyl. And I have
Nice.
always wanted that and have looked for it forever. And it's always been several $100s, you know.
Wow.
And I've
Yeah.
just never been able to find one. And when he came to visit me in July, he found one for me. So that was
Nice.
a
That's
recent
awesome.
addition to the collection. I mean, Disintegration, that was another one for years. I wanted an original copy. They reissued it in 2010, I think. The original actually was, there's two or three songs that were cut off because the original was just a single record.
Okay.
And when they reissued it, it was the full album. So the only way you could get the full album when it came out in 89, 89, was the CD or the cassette tape. Like I said,
Okay.
the vinyl was missing like two or three songs because there just wasn't room for it because
Yeah,
it was
that
a
makes
single
sense.
record. But I still wanted one. I mean, like I said, I
Naturally.
had the reissue. It had all the songs. It's a
Yeah.
double album, and I got that a year or two ago. Finally got that. So, and then they had a live album that came out around the same time called Entreat, and it was all done for charity. And I have the reissue of that same thing, expanded, blah blah blah. I just recently got my hands on a copy of an original of that, so
Nice. That's
I
awesome.
still get excited about things that I listened to 150 years ago, but it's just I still, I don't know, it's that nostalgia, I guess. It's that
Yeah.
going back, but staying current, if that makes sense. Like, I'm still here. I'm not trying to relive my past, but there's just something with music that just brings me back to moments that, maybe I don't have anymore. So,
Yeah. No,
I don't know if that makes
that's
sense, but
one of my favorite
I
things
feel like
about music. You feel like what? Go ahead.
I said, I feel like I've talked about the Cure enough, though. Um,
No, you haven't, because if you want to top me in my Blink obsession, you have to talk about The Cure more. But you are
right.
completely right. Like music does have that power to take us back or let us experience emotions that we haven't for a while or that we want to. And
Mhm. Mhm.
as I'm getting older and maturing, I'm realizing that's one of my favorite things about music. But I have to ask another Cure question. I know you're done with it, but I'm not. How many times have you seen them live?
I've actually only seen them twice.
Okay, when and
And
where?
the first time I saw them was in 1992 for the Wish tour, which was a
Okay,
very big album at that time, probably their last really big album. And I was just in high school, and
nice,
I went with Shane.
nice.
Um, and then it was such an amazing show. And we were in nosebleeds. We were way back. It was a huge stadium, and I remember the band, the Cranes, opened up for them. Only thing I remember about that, it was kind of a shoegazy band, and it was a female vocalist, and I couldn't understand a word she was saying. Other than that, I really don't remember anything about that show, and I remember the stupid jocks behind us, just trying to make out with girlfriends, because obviously the girlfriends must have dragged them to the show so they could hear,
Yeah,
uh, Friday I'm in Love, which I
Yeah.
hate that song. Um, really, really. I mean, I loved it when it came out, but I
Yeah.
just I get in this thing where the really popular songs, I tend to hate them because you need to listen to the band. The Cure is more than just like Heaven. The Cure is more than Friday I'm in Love. They're more than Fascination Street. Like, listen to the B-sides, listen to the deep tracks. There is so much more to them than their singles. And half the time their singles are awful. I mean, not awful, but just not as good as the really beautiful stuff on the album. And then flash forward to 2016 was the next time and the last time that I saw them with Shane. And so I was always worried about seeing them again. I was afraid that I was going to kind of tarnish that memory because it was at such the perfect moment in my life when I saw them. And it was my second concert ever, too, when I saw them the first time.
Okay.
And yeah, it just, I was like, no, I don't want to miss it. And then I was like, okay, well, if Shane's going with me. And then my friend Kim, she hated The Cure when you met Kim, I believe. She was my
I,
neighbor.
I don't think I did, but you've talked about her
Yeah,
quite a bit, so I feel like I've
she
met her.
lived right next door to me in
Okay.
Seattle. But yeah, maybe you guys never met. I do talk about her a lot. She hated The Cure at first, and then she was actually like, "Why don't you make me?" And I actually did make her a mixed tape. Why
Nice.
don't you make me a mixtape of your favorite Cure songs and I'll try to listen to it? So she went to the show with us. She loved it. My friend Jessica, that I've known also since high school, she grew up in Utah. She was living in Seattle. Actually, she might have been in Oregon at that time. But
Okay.
so the four of us went. It was a great show and it wasn't tarnished. And the one thing with The Cure is that their shows are never short. Like
Okay.
3.5 hours.
Wow, that's awesome.
And there were three encores, I believe. And it was long.
Dang.
It was really, really long. And, you know, he's probably at that time, what, in his late 50s?
Yeah. I've never seen a band do at least a second encore. Most bands don't even do an encore anymore. I've never seen a second encore. So three, holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah. In some way, I have the list in my phone because
Nice.
I typed the songs down as they were playing them.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure it has here, let's see if I can find it.
And the first time that you saw them, where did you see them?
I think it was called Desert Sky Pavilion. I'm pretty sure it's either not there anymore
Okay.
or it's the name's been changed.
Is it in Phoenix?
Yeah, in Phoenix.
Okay. Was it an outdoor amphitheater?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I may not even be there anymore. I think it was outdoor. I don't know. That was 92. That was a really long time ago. Here,
and then
I almost think it was indoor.
and then where was the second place you saw them?
So it was outside of Portland.
Okay.
And I don't remember the name of the venue. Because that was the one and only time I'd been there. So
Gotcha. Did that give you enough time to find that list? Did I stall long enough?
no, because then I start
I
talking to
just I
this.
just made it harder to multitask.
Um,
Do 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 do
here we go.
do 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 do
Yeah, three
do.
encores.
Dang.
Oh, and what I loved about they did a lot of the old stuff that when I saw them in '92. Obviously, a lot of the songs didn't even exist when I saw them in '92, but they did B sides and just things I was not expecting. And I mean, they opened with Shake Dog Shake. Boys Don't Cry is what they closed with on the third encore. Um, the first encore, they closed with The Forest, which is still one of the best Cure songs ever, and incredible live. But
And then, did you say that the first time you saw the Cure, that was your very second concert?
it was my second concert, yeah.
What was your first concert?
A little synth pop group called Book of Love.
Nice. And how was that one?
That was great. Also went with Shane.
Okay.
Or was The Cure my third concert? Actually, you know what? The Cure was my
Uh-oh.
third concert. I forgot. There's one that I don't mention that was my second concert. But so Book of Love was I'll tell you
Okay.
this one here, but it's quite embarrassing. Um, yeah, Book of Love, little synth pop group. I went with Shane and Tiffany, and it was in a little small venue called After the Gold Rush. I think later it became like Senior Frogs or something like that. And now it's
Okay.
completely like that building is gone. But I mean, it had like maybe 200 people. So it was
Okay.
just really small, and it was the
Yeah.
perfect first concert. I was actually
Nice.
still in high school when I went to that show. That band only did 4 albums, and they haven't done anything since like '94.
Okay.
But I still love them. I have all but their last album on vinyl because it was never released on vinyl.
Oh,
That
okay.
pisses me off, but um, that happens a lot though. And then the second one, see, I always
Yes.
forget. I mean, I don't forget it, but then I always say The Cure was my second show. But when I'm being honest, it really wasn't. Um, and that would have been Warrant and
Okay.
Chester and Firehouse.
I
And
wouldn't have guessed that.
yeah, Warrant with She's My Cherry Pie. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, yeah. I went with some friends. It was a way to get out of my hometown and go to a show. And I don't remember much about it other than there was a lot of people smoking pot. And I think I got a contact high. Um, and my friend drove a little T-Bird or whatever those cars are called, the ones that have I don't know what it's called. Not a Mustang.
Like a
Uh,
Firebird with the T-tops?
yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, yeah.
Like a Fiero,
Uh,
maybe?
no, it was I don't know, it's not important. I'll think about it when I'm not thinking about it, but
Yeah, naturally. And so you said that that was kind of embarrassing. Do you have a band that you've seen that's more embarrassing than that?
oh, I probably have
Yes,
plenty,
you do. You do.
but I do. Well, I mean, the thing is that they're embarrassing, but I don't think they're embarrassing because okay, so the first one, I think it was in '99, and it was at like the Puyallup Fair. And my friend Christy, her boss was absolutely in love with this person and dragged us to the show. And we went and saw Barry Manilow. And
Okay.
that seriously was like one of the funnest concerts I'd ever been to. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it, but I was just like, okay, because I mean I like some Barry, but I wouldn't just go to a Barry Manilow concert, but I didn't pay for
Yeah.
the tickets. I mean, I've also seen Donnie and Marie in Vegas. I
Nice.
don't think that's embarrassing, but some people might think it is. I also, a few years back in Kansas City, went and saw Hanson with with my niece Marcia, which we loved Hanson back in the '90s. It was something we'd always wanted to do together. And
Yeah.
it was our first and only concert that we been to. So I think that was really great because she's 4 years younger than me, so she's more like a little sister.
Yeah.
But yeah, all those years, and we had never gone to a concert together before. So um, it was just like I thought they were great, to be honest. But they're actually quite talented. But
Yeah,
um,
they definitely are.
I don't know that I like some of their views, but I try not to do that. I try not to let someone, unless you're just an evil, horrible person, then yes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna judge your music on you being an evil, horrible person. But I don't know if you have a different opinion than I do, and you still have good music. I'll probably still listen to you. I mean,
Yeah.
Morrissey well, he's a twat,
He's
but
crazy.
he's and he may not be a good human being, but I'm sorry, the Smiths and Morrissey, like some of the greatest music ever from him. So. I'm not gonna not listen to, Morrissey and the Smiths because he's a
Yeah.
douche. Uh, I don't know.
So you're saying that you will not listen to the Smiths or Morrissey, correct?
No, I will.
You will. Okay. So
Oh
who's
yes.
an
Yeah.
example of, do you have an example of somebody you will not listen to?
I mean, there are probably a lot that I won't listen to.
Yeah.
I really do not like terrible, gross female rappers like Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. Like, I think they're disgusting.
Yeah.
Um, and that other one, oh, I hate her worse. Cardi B. Ooh,
Okay.
not a fan. And then I think what I hated the most about, especially Nicki Minaj, and I don't want to say I don't hate anybody. I just don't really enjoy them or care for their music, and I maybe they're talented, but I don't believe they are. But they have more money than I'll ever have, so whatever. But I think the thing is how like there's pop stars that I love, like Madonna, and it's and these Nicki Minaj is showing up in everybody's song, and I don't want to hear
Yeah.
her. I don't want to hear
Yeah.
her with Madonna. I don't want to hear her with whoever else she's done songs with that I like. I mean, she was even showing up in like Maroon 5 songs. Not that I care about Maroon 5, but what are you doing in a
Yeah.
Maroon 5 song?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. And I don't know. Yeah,
Are you
or
familiar with the comedian Brian Regan?
no.
He has a skit where he talks about the cranberry juice. He's like, "What's going on with cranberry juice? They get cranberry juice in every juice." He's like, "The cranberry juice man must be a good salesman. What kind of juice you got? You got apple? What about cran apple? You got grape? You want some cran grape? That sounds pretty good to me." So that's how I feel like you're explaining Nicki Minaj, just the cranberry juice of
Yes, she
juices.
is like the cranberry juice of like collaborations. I mean, she's done songs with everybody. I mean, I think so is that nasty Cardi B, but I don't know. I try not to give much of my time to them, but
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, especially like in, like 16 and 17, they were like everywhere. I couldn't get
yeah,
away
for
from
sure,
them. And
definitely.
also in the past relationship, that's all the type of music that he listened to. So
Mm,
that might be another reason I really
yeah,
hate
even
them.
more reason, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah, which I
definitely.
think I did beforehand, but
Yeah,
it just got worse after that. But um,
understandable.
yes. Mhm.
So with the concerts, was one of those
Yes.
concerts you named your favorite concert, or do you have a concert that beats those?
I mean, The Cure, obviously, just because of that, you know,
Yeah,
what they were to me. But then, in 2004, I discovered Jenny Lewis and Rilo Kiley, and that is the artist that I've seen the most. Like,
yeah.
between her solo stuff, the stuff she did with Jonathan Rice, stuff that she did with Rilo Kiley, I've seen, and I just say Jenny because she's involved in all of that. I've seen Jenny Lewis 15 times, more than I've seen any other band or
Wow.
artist.
Yeah, I think you got
And
me beat by a few times.
I will continue, although they're playing a festival. Rilo Kiley are back together right now. They're touring. I don't know
Nice.
if they're going to do an album. I hope that they do, because they broke up in 2007. And yeah, playing all these little small venues, except Chicago. They're playing a festival, and I don't like festivals. And with
Thank
this
you.
festival, yeah, it's the what Riot Fest, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's 3 days, and really, like, out of all these bands, most of them I didn't know who they were. Really, there were only two bands that I would want to see playing on different days.
yeah.
So I'm
That's
like,
hard.
well, that kind of defeats the purpose because the two bands that I would want to see aren't even playing on the same day. And it's not
Yeah,
like Rilo Kiley was a headliner, so I don't even know how that would work. Like, I don't know, I haven't been to a festival or thing like that since, shoot, I don't know the last one I went to. Might have been the Lilith Fair in '94.
been a
No,
while.
no, I've some, but
Well,
or
I'm glad
'95.
that we can agree because I'm realizing more and more that I'm not a festival person at all.
I just I like little small venue. I don't even like stadiums anymore, or like the
Yeah,
big, like because Jane and I saw Depeche Mode here. I don't even remember what the stadium is. the name is here, but it's a big place. And it was all right, but it's not as enjoyable for me
Yeah.
anymore. I would rather be in a small venue like Rilo Kiley and Jenny Lewis. Like I would say most of the times that I saw them was at the Showbox in Seattle or Soto, which was the South Downtown Showbox.
Yeah.
Um, and pretty sure most of the time that's where they were. And small venue, maybe 400 people, five tops. I saw Concrete Blonde. I saw the B-52s there. I saw Erasure
Nice.
there. I saw Tegan and Sarah there. So many, so many of them bands. The X. I saw X there. I saw Echo and the Bunnymen. I saw Psychedelic Furs, OMD, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. I mean, I saw so many amazing bands at that venue, and my favorite place to see a show in Seattle because it was so intimate and like there wasn't a bad place,
Yeah.
bad spot to be. Like you could hear wherever you were. I did like the original Showbox better than the Soto one.
Okay.
The Soto was a little bigger. I saw Bad Religion at Soto.
Nice.
Um, who else did I see? I saw a lot there too, but I just thought the acoustics were better at the original one too. But and it was an older building, more history. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite venues in Seattle. More theater wasn't a bad place to see people. I
Yeah.
also saw Erasure there. I also saw Echo and the Bunnymen and Psychedelic Furs there. And RuPaul's Drag Race.
Nice.
I think that was at the Moore. Um, Not that that's a concert, but that was fun. Yeah, I've been to a lot of shows.
I
I
don't
can't
think I
think of
ever
all
went
of
to the Moore. I did go to Soto once. It was really very nice, like a very great venue. Most of
them.
the time, I went to El Corazon when I was there.
Okay, I went there once, I think. And I believe I saw Jenny there.
Okay, cool. That one's fun because it's just so small, so tiny, so it's very intimate. You feel like the floor is gonna fall apart when you're there because it's just the structure doesn't seem that sound, but
Yeah.
it's fun.
Actually, I think my cousin's kid was playing. I can't remember the name of his band.
Okay,
One of my cousins had a son that was in a band, and I believe they were. So I think I've been there twice. Um, yeah, because I'm pretty sure I saw Jenny there.
and the only other Seattle venue I remember going to was the Vera Project. Did you ever go there?
Mm-mm,
It's like at Key
no.
Arena, like one of their small little buildings that they have. Well, it's not Key Arena
Okay.
anymore, but back then it was. And yeah,
Yeah.
very, very small, like probably 150, 200 cap. But it was fun. It was a cool little spot.
Yeah. I just like when it's more intimate and you feel like you're actually just like there. I mean, the
Yeah.
first time I saw Jenny Lewis solo, um, what was the name of that place though? Because it wasn't at Showbox. It's up on Capitol Hill actually. I can't remember the name of the venue, and it was actually even smaller than the Showbox. But
Okay.
we were so like I was like waiting for I'm like leaning on the stage, like I'm
Yeah.
literally on the
Yeah.
stage, and it's a really small stage. She comes out down there. I'm just looking up at her the whole time, and I'm trying not to cry and get all
Yeah.
emotional, and then she sings the song Melt Your Heart, and I start crying, and then I mouthed up at her. I was like, I love you, and I swear she mouthed back, I love you too, and I was just like, we had this connection, and I was sure we were going to be best friends forever, but it didn't happen. But definitely someone that I would love to meet. Or Dolly, which we haven't even talked about that.
Are we going to talk about Dolly now? Is that the cue?
I mean, we can, but I mean, that's a whole. Whew. See, there's lots.
Have you been to Dollywood?
I have not been to Dollywood, but I've seen Dolly 6 times.
Okay. When are you going to Dollywood? Like, why are you not going? What's happening here?
So the Dollywood thing is that so my brother John's ex-wife is a big Dolly fan like me. I've
Okay.
known her actually longer than anyone else in my family did because we were in the sixth grade together. And then later, then she moved, and then she came back, and then started dating my brother, and then she married him. But we were friends before anybody in my family knew. And she is probably, I don't, she's pretty dang close to obsessed with Dolly as I am. And so I cannot go to Dollywood if she does not go with me. So that's
Understood.
kind of like,
Yeah,
so,
that's
and
fair.
it's like the first time that at that time they were living in Denver. And that was in 2002, I believe, was
Okay.
the first
Yeah.
that I saw Dolly. And I flew to Denver and I went with Tiffany. So I, three out of the six times I've seen her, with Tiffany. So it just doesn't eat, and I know she
Yeah.
would kill me if she found out I went to Dollywood without her.
Yep.
But, and then just timing, being able to get anything together to make plans.
Yeah.
And she lives in New
Under-
Hampshire. I live here.
yeah. Understandable, and that's a very valid excuse, and I respect that. I think the only time I've seen Dolly was what you were saying in 2002. Would you like to hear my experience with seeing her?
Yes.
I went to our nation's capital for the fireworks show on the 4th of July, and this
Mm.
is definitely got to be 2002 because there was reference to the events that took place the year before. So she talked about, I think, just like military weapons, and she brought up bombs, and she's like, "I got two of my own bombs, and they're right here." She grabbed her chest.
Mm-hmm.
Little
She
12-year-old
has
me just
names for
staring.
them. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Shock and awe. I think I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure her breasts name are Shock and Awe.
That's so
But
funny.
yeah, that's sounding right. Wow, so you saw her
I did, yeah.
and she did patriotic songs.
Yes, of course. And she sang during,
Yes.
I think, some of the fireworks show, if not all, but beforehand as well.
Wow, I didn't see that. But yeah, that's what that wonderful patriotic album of hers called. Uh, Shoot, what is it called? I don't know. It's on vinyl over there.
Yeah,
Um,
just go grab it real quick. Just go through your 10,000
uh,
shelves of. I'm just kidding.
I am looking because I'm going to forget, and they're right here.
Well, as Craig is gone looking for the vinyl, I was just kidding. But when I went to DC for the first time, it was also my first time seeing fireflies. So I remember running around trying to chase fireflies before the fireworks show started. Did you find it?
Yeah, it's called Forgotten Country.
Look at that. And
It's a
there
beautiful
they are.
cover. She
What were their
probably
names
was wearing
again?
that outfit. Huh?
Yeah, no, she was.
Yeah, that was her patriotic. I mean, this is terrible. It's got songs like God Bless the USA and she has her own little Color Me Americas and Red, White, and Bluegrass. And I mean, she does do a new version of her song Light of a Clear Blue Morning, which I love. Vinyl's really cool though.
Oh, that one's cool. It's
Uh,
like the old Pepsi can. That's what it reminds me of. It's red, white, and blue.
yeah. But yeah, she's another one. Whatever. Actually, I'm only missing one of hers that's been released on vinyl. It's I can't Golden Streets of Glory from like '74. It was her first like gospel album.
Okay.
Um, it's just not easy to find. And when I
Yeah.
have found it, it hasn't been in good condition. So I at least want it to be playable. So
Yeah, definitely.
she is the artist that I own the most of on vinyl though.
Nice. And how many is that?
98.
Oh my goodness. His his collection of just Dolly Parton's more of what I have for my entire collection of everybody.
And I mean, it's taken me a long time, obviously, to get
Yeah.
it to where it's at. Plus, I have a lot of duplicates. It's the same thing with like The Cure and I know Kylie and Denny Lewis and all of these ones that I really, really love. The pressings, I probably have them. And I don't really need to have several copies of the same album, but like just to bring you back to The Cure, because apparently it just keeps going back there. But The Head on the Door is probably my favorite album of theirs, with 17 Seconds being a close second. Um, I have 5 different copies of Head on the Door.
Wow.
I don't know why, but I do. I think it's 5. It's 4 or 5. Because I have a Japanese pressing of it. I have a
Nice.
picture disc version of it. I have an original US copy. I have an original UK copy. I have a reissue.
So it's safe to say that The
And the
Cure is your special interest, right?
Japanese pressing's the best out of all of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
What makes the Japanese pressing better?
I think their pressing plants are better. And
Okay.
I think that they actually care, especially in the 70s and the 80s. I don't
Yeah.
know that I've had any recent Japanese pressings. Pretty much everything I have is from the 70s and 80s, but there just is a quality about the sound. It just
Nice.
sounds a little bit better than a US pressing or even a UK pressing. I think UK pressings, for the most part, sound better than the US pressings. But again, it just depends. German pressings are really good as well. So uh, depends. I think they
There's your
care a little bit more in other countries.
take the time, more quality machine, something like that. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know why. Plus, I don't know. Seeing in Japanese, they have those cool obi strips. You know what an
Yeah.
obi strip is? Uh,
I don't.
You don't?
Show me that. I do not.
Yeah. Hold on.
I don't. I don't. I don't have a Japanese pressing. If only I could keep Craig's attention so he could stay here and talk to me. He just keeps running away from me.
I'm so
It's like
rude.
my dating life. 3 hours later.
So this is an
Oh,
obi
okay.
strip.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
basically, it's like all the album, but in Japanese. I will not buy
Yeah.
a Japanese if it does not have an obi strip on it. I don't care how good condition the record is in. I mean, the record
Yeah.
obviously is the most important part, but this just does something to it. Plus, a lot of the times the inners, like there'll be posters that aren't in the US,
Yeah.
pressing lyric sheets, which is cool because they're in Japanese and English. A lot of times
Nice.
there's postcards and order forms, and just I just love Japanese pressings.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
Well, I
love
learned something
vinyl in
new today,
general.
so thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here to help.
um, we're almost to the hour mark, and I have a few more questions for you. Is that okay?
Hey, go ahead.
First one is not a question. It's an observation that I want to talk about. Reminiscing on Seattle. I remember calling you as that missionary, and you always had a ringback tone. And I think it was different for every day of the week. Is that right?
That is correct.
And so for for the younger generation that doesn't know what a ringback tone is, when you called someone's cell phone, they could have a pre-programmed instead of the ringing phone, you would hear a song, which was always delightful.
I wish that you could still do that, but
Me
you
too.
can't. Yeah, that was
People
so
just don't call
great.
anybody anymore.
Well, that's true too. They just want to text, but
Yeah. What are some of the examples that you had for your ringback tones?
I mean, I know that there was probably New Kids on the Block at some point. Um, and probably Tiffany. I'm probably Dolly for sure. I think probably
Yeah.
The Cure. And I would always have different ones. Like if my dad called me, because you actually could set it up for certain numbers. So if like my dad
Yeah.
called me, I just get a ring because oh my gosh, if he called and it was music for the first 10 minutes I was talking to him, all I would hear is you have that garbage playing, blah 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 blah. Is that's one thing about that man. I definitely didn't get any musical influence from him because, except for like, Jim Reeves and Tennessee Ernie Ford, my dad
Okay.
didn't like music with words. And I do
Okay.
not like classical music or instrumentals. I appreciate
Yeah.
the talent, but I need lyrics. I need a story.
Agreed. Yeah.
And yeah, he did not like. I just don't think he liked music. I think he was just a miserable man. Uh, uh, yeah, so I don't know, some other one. I mean, obviously during Christmas time, I would have different Christmas ones.
Yeah.
Um, I don't remember. It's been so long since we could have ringback tones, but do you remember any specific ones?
I I don't. A few of them I remember I had to ask you, but I think once I found out that you had different ones for different days, I think I just called you every day so I could see what the song was, and you
Whatever
would
that
answer. And you're like, all right, I know that song, and then all right, talk to you tomorrow.
is. Yeah, those were good
um,
times.
and now the next question is the questions that I have to ask every time, and I'm gonna put a little disclaimer that Disco Craigo is going to give his honest answer, which is what I want from everybody. And so please give your honest answer. And
Um,
with that being said, what is your definition of punk and what is your definition of emo?
well, punk, I think is I don't know that there's necessarily a definition for punk. I think
Okay,
punk is really a feeling,
I
and
like that.
some of the artists that call themselves punk, I don't believe that they are. Like your fair Blink 182, people will call them punk. They are not. I don't even know that I could categorize really what they are. Pop rock, maybe.
Yeah,
If I had to categorize them, but they're just a rock band, and I hate categorizing anything anyways because
yeah,
there's all this made up term. But I mean, if I think of punk, I think of, I say, it sounds so cliche to say Sex Pistols, but I mean, you obviously think of things like, and why can't I think
definitely.
of Bad Brains and Suicidal Tendencies and
Yeah,
like that's kind of when I think of punk, that's what I think of.
okay.
I don't think of like I and emo.
Yeah, let's hear it. Tell us.
Emo is made up and fake and not a real term. And I don't understand. And it's just really sappy, not good music. And the most like, I don't know, because maybe tell me who some of these emo bands are, and I probably don't like them. Um, it never made sense to me. Apparently it's emotional rock, right?
Okay.
Is that what it's supposed to be stand
Emotional
for?
hardcore. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and then I mean, I just know most of the kids cut themselves. So, and not that, you have your bad times in life, but don't listen to a band to make that you do that to yourself. Um, I don't know. Emo was never, I mean, and that was so past my prime too.
yeah.
Like what it was like, but I don't like it. I don't like it when people use the term goth rock. I think that is
Okay.
made up. The Cure is not a goth band. I mean,
Yeah.
they to me would be post-punk or alternative rock or new wave especially their earlier stuff. But even like the Cure's first record is closer to punk than so many other things. But I hate the term goth rock. And that was something that just popped up like in the late 80s
Yeah.
through over half of their career. It's like, and where the hell did it come from? Goth. I mean, they had the New Romantics and they had all those different terms, and I just never
Yeah.
understood it. Um, yeah, I'll
So
emo.
if someone was to call the Cure emo, how mad would you be?
I might have to cut a bitch, but yeah, they're definitely not that. I mean, I guess if that is the term, emotional rock or emotional hardcore, I mean, yeah, it's emotional,
Definitely
but
emotional. And I asked that
but
because I can't remember what TV show I watched, but there was an episode where the kid's like, I'm just going to go in my room and cry and listen to The Cure.
I did that a lot growing up. But I don't know, sad music though, too, to be honest with you, it makes me happy. So
No,
I mean,
yeah,
I
I
I
get that.
think that was probably why I was so drawn to The Cure, is that I was this sad, sad, sad kid, and for some reason, the sadness in their music just kind of made me happy. It might sound like I need therapy, but I don't know. It did something to me. They came in my life at a moment that I needed them. You know.
Yeah, that's another beautiful thing about music. And I think sometimes music can be that therapy that we need. And for me, some of the music that I listen to that would be, some people would classify as emo because it talks about emotions. Uh, it's nice to know that you're not alone or that people have experienced things that
Hmm.
maybe you don't feel comfortable talking about with people, because that's where I've been. And so listening to music, like, oh, this person is singing about what I've thought about. So it's nice to have that.
It's like somebody else is telling your story.
Yeah, definitely.
And whether they actually are or not, I mean, it's like almost like they get you. And they could have just step down and they don't mean any of it. But as long as it means something to you,
Yeah,
and you get
exactly.
something, you know,
Definitely.
I don't know. It's probably why I like all those indie rock girls. They tell my stories.
And we're talking about serious stuff, and I want to make a good transition to the next question, which is not serious at all. But I'm very excited because I have a new question, and I'm going to ask you it first. And you didn't
Oh,
see it beforehand. No one's seen it yet. Starting here with you, Disco Crego. If there is a female equivalent to Creed, who would that be?
oh my gosh. Oh, Creed is probably one of the most horrible bands in the world. Wow, you put me on the spot. I would almost need research for this. Who would I mean? Ugh.
And yeah, and you
And
can
there's
come
a
back
lot.
and tell us more, but give us a couple examples and who you got and why.
I mean, Creed was just so awful. And I have one in mind, but I don't know that I would say that she was just. So I think that she just got awful. Each album that she
Okay.
released, like the first one was like maybe okay. Plus, she was really, really young. But I think maybe like Avril Lavigne. Um,
Oh,
and and like, and I don't mean that in a bad like. I'm thinking of more of a like how like Creed was just so huge when they really shouldn't have been.
yeah.
The unfortunate thing with Avril Lavigne is I think that she could have been a lot more, but it everything was just the same. It's like I don't feel like anything changed about her. Even now,
Okay.
like I think
Yeah.
she just
Yeah.
did a song with who are those guys that low time, all time or
All
whatever?
time
Didn't she
low.
just do a song with them?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, they were just on Warp Tour together, so maybe she's done a.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah, I
Simple
think
Plan. It was Simple Plan.
oh, Simple Plan. That's a
Yeah.
terrible song. I don't know if you heard it, but it is terrible.
Yeah.
Um, I couldn't help but to laugh because I watched the music video. I couldn't help but to
Okay.
laugh during the whole time. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, you guys are in 50s. They're really not that old, but they are at least in their late 30s, 40s, and it's some song about partying. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, like maybe if you guys would have done this collab when you were like in your 20s, like it would have worked,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work
Yeah.
now. Like find something else to do. Do a song together, but find something else to do. I know that there's someone worse than her though, and I really have to think about this for a few more
So
seconds.
my story was I was at a concert the other night, and there was
Okay.
a person there that looked like a female artist, and so I started singing a song from this artist, and then I
Mhm.
realized the same way that I would sing her style of music is the same way that I like sing Creed, because of that her, like when you try to push, can you take me high? Yeah, that.
Oh, you're so
So with
awful.
that being said, is there a female vocalist that sounds like that to you?
I'm sure there is, but I can't really
Okay.
think of anything. Like, I'm not sound wise. Yeah, I'm sure. So
Yeah,
tell me yours.
yeah. Tell me if I'm wrong or not. If I can turn back
Oh,
time.
so share. Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Not
mean,
not
share is brilliant, though.
yeah. Not the effect they had on music. Like that's where you went with Avril Lavigne. I see what you're going with, but just the way you sing, right? That style. That's what.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was so big though back in that was like the early, late 90s, early 2000s with,
Yeah.
Creed, everything that, and I mean, Puddle of Mud was like that as
Yeah.
well. I
Exactly.
mean, there was so
Stain.
many
They
bands.
all sang that way.
Yeah, they all sang that way, and it was like that was the cool way to sing, but it really wasn't. And
Yeah,
the fact
that
that
never
they
was cool.
stuck around, they stuck around as long as they did. Like, well, and I think Creed still does records from time to time. I know he's done
Wow.
some solo stuff.
Yeah.
You know, people like him, and I mean, they've reissued their stuff on vinyl too, and people are actually buying it. What? People are buying Creed records? Because Creed is not a band that was on vinyl. Creed is a
Yeah.
just CD
Yeah. They were.
digital,
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
definitely CD. So um, I don't know. Although, I have a lot of vinyl that wasn't originally on vinyl and I don't care, but
Yeah.
it's just the form as long as it sounds good. But
Yeah.
mm,
Definitely. Well, is there anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I feel like I've
Okay.
talked too much.
No, definitely not. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I'm glad that you really are a friend in music to me because that was such an easy connection to make. Say you like music, I like music, we're friends, let's talk about it. And here we are 15 years later still talking about music. And I appreciate you doing this. You're a great person. I love you.
Aw, I appreciate you having me, and I love you. I feel like I birthed you.
Yeah, well, you definitely did. All right. Thank you, Disco
Aw,
Crago.
thank you, Ford.